All right, so we're diving deep today
Okay.
into MoKoN's Strong Arm on Fire.
Cool.
This track, I think, tells us a lot about,
Yeah.
about MoKoN as an artist
Yeah.
and what it really takes to break into the music industry.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And
Yeah.
I think there are some insights here for everybody listening,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. It's amazing how,
Right.
you know, a song can be so much more
Yeah.
than just like,
Yeah.
catchy beats and rhymes. I think
Exactly.
there's so much
Right.
meaning
Yeah.
hidden under the surface.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be like explored.
Well, this song is packed with imagery.
It is.
I mean, just the opening lines are a grabber.
Yeah.
He compares his flow to Willie W. with a bag of gold bars
Right.
and a strong-armed robbery. What do you make of that?
Well, you're immediately hit with a
Yeah.
sense of like confidence,
Yeah.
and power. Like he's not tiptoeing onto the scene.
Right.
It's like bursting in,
Right.
demanding your attention.
Yeah.
And that strong arm imagery
Yeah.
is key. Sets the tone for it, like the whole song, right?
Right.
This idea of him taking what he deserves,
Yeah.
overcoming any obstacle in his path.
It's like a statement of intent almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it speaks to like a certain mindset,
Mhm.
A strong arm isn't just about like physical strength, it's
Yeah.
about resilience,
Mhm.
determination,
Yeah.
that like unwavering will to succeed.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's saying,
Yeah.
I've had to fight for everything I've got,
Yeah.
and I'm not afraid to keep fighting,
Yeah. And he doesn't shy away from getting pretty graphic.
No, he doesn't.
There's those lines about murderous beats bleed
Right.
and stitch and leave it open.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost violent, right?
It definitely creates a sense of rawness
Yeah.
and intensity, for sure,
Yeah.
and maybe even a little danger.
Right.
But remember, he's a rapper,
Yeah. Yeah.
Wordplay and pushing boundaries. I mean,
Right.
that's part of the art form.
Right.
So think of it like as a metaphor,
Okay.
bleeding beats could be about. The way his music cuts through the noise
Mm-hmm.
makes a lasting impact,
And the imagery continues to be really striking, like
Yeah.
driving with high beams, even though he can't see,
Mhm.
veering away from crime scenes.
Right.
It almost feels like he's painting a picture of a life that's constantly pushing the limits,
There's definitely an element of risk-taking there,
Yeah.
but also maybe a hint of recklessness.
Yeah.
Like he's acknowledging
Right.
the dangers of his path,
Yeah.
but refusing to back down.
Right.
He's determined to, like,
Yeah.
live life on his own terms.
And that ties back into the whole strong arm idea, doesn't it?
It does.
It's not just surviving.
Right.
He's actively shaping his own destiny.
Precisely.
Right.
And that's a powerful message, isn't
Right.
it?
Yeah.
It's about refusing to be a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
And taking control of your own narrative.
And it's not just abstract metaphors, right?
Right.
He gets really personal in the song.
I
He
know.
does, sharing snippets of his past, talking about childhood experiences with drugs and run-ins with the law.
Yeah. And those glimpses into his past
Yeah.
add a layer of like
Yeah.
authenticity
Yeah.
and vulnerability to the bravado.
Yeah.
It grounds the song in real life experience. This
Right.
isn't just empty boasting.
Right.
It's a story of struggle and resilience.
Yeah.
He's showing us where that strong arm mentality comes from.
Right.
The challenges he's had to overcome
Yeah.
to get where he is.
Makes you wonder if the strong arm
Yeah.
is also a way of protecting himself,
Yeah.
shielding himself from the world.
It's possible. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been through a lot, and maybe that toughness is like
Yeah.
a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
A way to navigate a world
Yeah.
that hasn't always been kind to him.
But he doesn't dwell on the negativity.
No.
He also talks about wanting to be fair,
Mm-hmm.
spread positive air,
Right.
showing, a more nuanced side to his personality.
Right. He acknowledges the complexities of his journey,
Yeah.
the good and the bad,
Yeah.
the light and the shadow.
Right.
It's a reminder
Mm-hmm.
that even the toughest exteriors
Mm-hmm.
can hide a depth of feeling and compassion.
And then there's that line about skipping up person in the first take.
Yeah.
Recorded no mistakes in it.
Right.
Almost like he's highlighting his talent and precision as
Yeah.
a rapper.
It's a subtle brag,
Yeah.
but it speaks volumes about his
Yeah.
confidence and skill.
Yeah.
He's not just rapping.
Right.
He's crafting these intricate verses
Yeah.
with a level of technical proficiency
Mhm.
that deserves, like, recognition.
But what really struck me is how he keeps referencing this idea of
Ah.
rigging the system for future endeavors.
Mm.
What do you think he's getting at there?
Well, I think it's a fascinating statement about how he views success.
Yeah.
And maybe even the music industry as a whole, right?
Right.
It suggests he's not interested in playing by the traditional rules.
Yeah.
Waiting for someone to give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking matters into his own hands.
Right.
Creating his own opportunities.
So maybe the strong arm isn't just about individual strength, but also about challenging the status quo.
Exactly. It's about refusing to be limited
Yeah.
by the expectations of others, you know.
Yeah.
Forging your own path to success.
Which is a pretty powerful message for anyone listening.
Absolutely. No matter what field you're in.
Right,
you're bound to encounter, like, obstacles and systems that seem designed to hold you back.
Right.
MoKoN's strong arm mentality is a reminder that you have the power to overcome those challenges.
Yeah.
Create your own opportunities.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
But there's still so much more to unpack here.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the music industry itself.
Right.
And what MoKoN's success might say about it.
Yeah. Let's delve into that further.
Okay, let's do it.
There are some intriguing hints in the lyrics that give us even more insight into his journey and the realities of the music world.
Okay.
So, like, when he talks about conditioning rhythm for future endeavors, that line really, like, jumps out at me, especially from a musical perspective, you know?
Right. It's like he's acknowledging the technical side of his craft. You know, he's not just relying on raw talent.
Right.
He's putting in the work.
Right.
Honing his skills. Like,
exactly.
Almost like an athlete training for a big competition.
Exactly. And that speaks to, like, a level of dedication and discipline that's often overlooked. You know, when people talk about rap music, there's this misconception that it's all, like, freestyle and improvisation.
Right.
But the reality is crafting a compelling rap song requires incredible skill and precision.
And remember those lines about forget what you heard by others.
Right.
And open up, let your ears do the work. It's like he's challenging listeners to form their own opinions, to really engage with the music on a deeper level.
Absolutely. He's encouraging critical listening, right? Urging you to, like, move beyond the hype and the preconceived notions and really just listen to what he's saying. It's a refreshing perspective in a world where we're constantly bombarded with information and opinions, you know?
It's like he's saying, don't just take my word for it. Experience it for yourself.
And that ties back to the idea of rigging the system. He's not relying on, like, traditional gatekeepers or industry hype to validate his music. He's putting it out there, trusting that its quality will speak for itself.
It takes a certain level of confidence to do that.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
To stand firm in your own vision.
Yeah.
Even when the world might be telling you to conform.
And that confidence is evident throughout the whole song. You know, he's not afraid to challenge the status quo, speak his truth, even if it makes some people uncomfortable.
And that final challenge, daring anyone to dog his work. It's almost like he's inviting criticism, knowing that his music is strong enough to withstand scrutiny.
There's a fearlessness there.
Right.
A belief in his own abilities.
Yeah.
That's truly inspiring. He's not seeking validation. He's demanding recognition.
Right.
For the hard work and dedication he's poured into his craft.
But it's not all ego and bravado.
No, it's not.
There's a vulnerability there, too. A willingness to share his struggles and his triumphs.
You're right. It's that combination of vulnerability and strength that makes his music so compelling.
Right.
He's not afraid to be real, to show his flaws, but he also refuses to be defined by them. He's constantly striving to, like, evolve, push himself further.
And that resonates with listeners, don't you think?
Absolutely.
That sense of striving, that refusal to give up. Even when the odds are stacked against you.
It's a universal human experience, that desire to overcome challenges and achieve something meaningful. And MoKoN's music taps into that deep-seated need for connection and inspiration.
So we've got this complex portrait emerging. A talented artist with a troubled past, a burning ambition to succeed, a deep understanding of the music industry, and a defiant spirit that refuses to be silenced. But how does all of this connect back to the music industry itself?
I think Strong Arm on Fire can be seen as like a commentary on the challenges faced by aspiring artists, particularly those from marginalized backgrounds.
Right.
MoKoN's journey, his struggles, his triumphs, they reflect a larger narrative about breaking into an industry that can be notoriously difficult to navigate.
It's like he's using his music to expose the inequalities and the systemic barriers that exist within the industry, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths.
Precisely. And by rigging the system, he's not just talking about achieving personal success. He's talking about creating a new model, a path forward for other artists who might feel excluded or overlooked.
And the fire imagery takes on a whole new meaning in that context. It's not just about passion.
Exactly.
It's about burning down the old structures, the gatekeepers, the limitations that have held back so many talented artists for far too long.
It's about forging a new path. Blazing a trail for others to follow. And that's incredibly powerful, isn't it?
It really is.
To use your art to challenge the status quo and inspire change.
But there's one more element I want to touch on before we wrap up. The whole idea of Strong Arm on Fire as a metaphor. What does that image evoke for you? And how can it apply to the listener's life? Even if they're not an aspiring musician.
That's a great question. And it's where things get really interesting. To me, Strong Arm on Fire represents that potent combination of like will and passion, the inner drive that pushes us to overcome challenges, achieve our goals, no matter what they may be.
It's about harnessing that, you know, that inner fire, that burning desire. Like, you want to make a difference. Leave your mark on the world.
Exactly. It's about, you know, finding that thing that ignites your passion. That thing that makes you feel truly alive. And pursuing it, you know, with everything you've got.
And that's a message that transcends the music industry.
Oh, absolutely.
It's something we can all connect with, regardless of our backgrounds or aspirations.
Absolutely. Think about the challenges you've faced in your own life. The times you've had to dig deep and find that inner strength to keep going.
There was moments when you had to, you know, rig the system, find a creative solution, or just like refuse to give up on your dreams.
That's your Strong Arm on Fire. That's the power within you that can overcome any obstacle.
And sometimes it's not about brute force, right? It's about using your intellect, your creativity, your unique skills, your talents to navigate those challenges.
About being resourceful. Adaptable. Never losing sight of your goals.
And maybe, just maybe, by listening to stories like MoKoN's, we can find the inspiration to ignite that fire within ourselves.
Tap into that reservoir of resilience and determination that we all possess.
To find our own, you know, strong arm and use it to create positive change in our lives and the world around us.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this question. What's your strong arm? What are you passionate about? How can you use that passion to rig the system and create a life that's truly fulfilling?
That's something to really think about. We've uncovered a lot today.
We have.
From the, you know, personal story behind the lyrics to the, you know, broader message about resilience, ambition, and challenging the status quo.
It's been a fascinating exploration of the power of music to inspire, to challenge, to connect us on a deeper level.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We hope you found it insightful.
Hope you enjoyed it.
And maybe even a little bit inspiring. And remember, keep that.
Keep that.
Strong Arm on Fire.
Strong Arm on Fire.